to White Eagle Perry. One of the most famous and inspiring stories in the history of Japan is the story of the 47 ronin, masterless samurai. This story is described by Japanese historians as a national legend and is considered the ultimate expression of the samurai code of honor, Bushido. The 47 ronin are regarded today by the Japanese people as cultural heroes and are honored in their national holidays and countless kabuki plays, movies, novels, and manga. Every year, the Jishicha Festival, I believe, takes place on December 14th in Echo City in memory of the 47 ronin. On that day, schools and businesses are closed, and the streets are decorated with banners and color lecterns. These names are getting harder and harder to pronounce. Additionally, each year, at the temple in Tokyo, thousands of tourists visit the resting place of the 47 ronin and pay homage to their dedication to the Bushido. This tale, brought to you today by White Eagle Perry, begins in the castle of Tokugawa. I should have practiced this ahead of time. Shogene on the April 21st, 1701. The Tale of the 47 Ronin, White Eagle Perry, The Tale of the 47 Ronin.
Our tale begins in 1701, which is considered a relatively peaceful time under the Tokugawa shogunate. At this time, the imperial court was going to send a member to the Edo castle to meet with the shogun. In honor of this, he invited some local daimyos, which are lords of the province, to be the host. They're typically pretty young and inexperienced in this. They needed help. He made one of his elderly senior members teach them the protocol. His name was Yoshinaka Kida. And one of the daimyo that were going to be honored as a host was Naganori Agano. Our story is about these two men. Kida was known to be very greedy about his money. He's also very conceited, thinking he's better than everybody else. He didn't like Agano because Agano wouldn't give him expensive gifts in honor of his tutelage. So he was abusive and insulting to Lord Agano. At every possible chance he had, he would publicly humiliate him. After 2 months of this, Lord Agano had enough. And on March 14th, he drew his sword and struck Lord Kida. His only regret? He didn't kill him. You must know, at this time, to draw your sword in such a manner in the Ida castle was a capital offense. The shogun had to order Lord Agano to commit seppuku, which is the ritual suicide of cutting the belly. This, of course, angered all of Lord Agano's men for a couple reasons. One, Lord Kida was given sympathy and allowed to continue his duties when they felt he should have shared in the responsibility. And two, because they felt that Lord Agano was overly harshly treated on this manner. Part of the law at this time was that if a samurai commits seppuku, All of his lands goes to the shogun. His family is disinherited, and his men are disbanded, becoming masterless samurai, or ronin. These ronin, 321 of them, were split on what to do. Some wanted to hold the castle to the bitter end, fight their way until death. Some said, no, we should plot revenge against Lord Kita. And then the rest thought that, let's just be law-abiding and surrender peacefully. Well, we wouldn't have a story if it went that way. 60 of them decided, we need to avenge our master's honor and plot to kill Lord Kita. But they knew Lord Kita, being a smart man, would raise his personal protection. So in their plot, they decided to disband, make it look like they disbanded, becoming merchants, street vendors, and even the chief chancellor left his family, moved to Kyoto, and became known as a drunken gambler. This ruse worked, because it deceived not just shoguns, spies, but Lord Kita's too. For 2 years, they waited, getting information. And finally, when Lord Kita and his allies relaxed their suspicions of Lord Agano's men, they invaded Edo Castle. Half of the men went to the rear gates. The other half went to the front gates. 47 ronin to 61 armed guards of Lord Kita. They had their swords drawn, fighting their way through. And after an hour and a half of heated battle, all 61 of Lord Kita's men were either subdued or killed. None of the 47 ronin had lost their lives. They searched and they searched. They finally found Lord Kita hiding in an outhouse. With their sword drawn, they led him to a courtyard. And they said he could do the honorable thing of a samurai and commit seppuku. He laughed at them. Because he's conceited. He refused. Off with his head. They took his head and went to the gravesite of Lord Agano, putting it up on top, declaring his honor redeemed. They knew they would die for their actions. They sent one of their members to the magistrate of Edo Castle, telling what they had done and that they would be waiting at their lord's grave. The shogun wasn't angered by these actions. Actually, he had deep sympathy and was deeply moved by their loyalty to their honor, to their master, and also loyalty to the code of the Bushido. He was divided. What should he do? By law, he should punish them. But by his personal feelings, he felt that they were justified in their actions. But if he lets them go, would that take away from their honor and weaken the Bushido code? He deliberated on this for 47 days. And at the end, he came to this decision. The youngest ronin, he sent back to tell all the people that Lord Kita was killed and that the honor of Lord Agano was redeemed. The other 46 ronin would have to commit seppuku. But not as criminals, but as honored warriors. On February 4th, 1703, all 46 ronin knelt down and simultaneously committed seppuku. Afterwards, they were buried next to Lord Agano. Today, the memory of the 47 ronin is celebrated in a play called Kusingura. In this story, to this day, brings tears to the Japanese people because of the honor these 47 men had and their loyalty to their master and staying true to the Bushido way. That is the tale of the 47 ronin.
Again, Michael, if you can give us a minute